If you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. If you don't know where you're going, any path will take you there. This is the type of sentiment that I've been struggling a lot with recently, and I think really my entire life. I guess you could say deciding where I need to go and what I need to be doing on a monthly, weekly, daily, second-by-second basis has been one of the hardest things for me personally to figure out how to decide what matters the most, right? What means the most in my life? Is it my relationships? Is it me? Is it my job? Is it a combination of those things? What means the most? And how do I decide that? I went through a breakup very recently, about 8 months ago now, but as I continue to work through that, one of the worst things about it was it felt like I had lost a lot of my mission in life. I had things that I was trying to accomplish in filmmaking and in life personally. That's actually part of the reason that relationship actually broke down, I think. But this overarching direction that I felt that I had kind of had been taken away, right? Or at least had been changed drastically. It felt as if I didn't know what I wanted exactly. Right? And of the things that I felt that I wanted, I wasn't clear on whether they were good for me or not, or if they were the things that I wanted to want. So I kind of began writing and thinking, and that's how I kind of synthesized the process that we're going to be breaking down today. The first movement, which is detox and refocus. One of the first places that I had to optimize when I left high school and transitioned into college was creating this second brain. One thing that I really struggled with was just knowing when things were due and when they had to get done. And even just like the status of where I was at, dumping information in different places, just having a spot that could be accessed from everywhere, that I would know whatever's going on at any given time. I tried notebooks in the past at first, but the time blindness thing kind of got in the way. So I needed a thing that could connect to a Google Calendar, which I started using Google Calendar at the start of college, but then also, something that could just have all my information digitally, links, whatever, right? And I started using Notion for a lot of that. Notion became the go-to tool for everything that I was doing in my life. I've been out the way. I was highly emotional at the time, still, I guess, always am, and that tends to exacerbate the symptoms of ADHD. I've always needed a space that was free from those symptoms outside of my own mind in order for me to actually get anything really done and to manage anything well. I also use Obsidian as like kind of an archival tool for ideas and big picture things that I want to kind of create a library for long term, but for the day-to-day, month-to-month actual processing of things, I'm using Notion for that. So I kind of began journaling, and on top of that, I began building out this page called Values and Mission. This Values and Missions page is kind of like my initial baseline. It's what do I feel I desire from existence, essentially. What do I want to feel? Who do I want to be, right? What are the things that will allow me to acquire the former, which is what I want to feel or who I want to be? And what are the steps I need to take first, in this case, to become the person who can get those things that would give me the feeling, or become a person that can get the traits that would give me the feeling. So this is Notion, this is my general thing. This is my main page, which is what I use for daily tasks and habit tracking and whatnot. But if we go over here, the first thing that I did was, this is very new, I created a page for myself. So we have the Values and Missions page right here. And in here, we have who do I want to be, how do I want to feel, right? I ask myself questions and I just respond back, right? Of the traits and the things that I want for the person that I want to become, what's the least common denominator? What's the first step? So for me, I had to identify what I kind of called the deadliest weakness or the least common denominator, which was a clear and focused mind. That was the big thing that I was lacking across the board, that my main processing unit, right? The thing that makes the decisions. I can't even accurately say necessarily what I want. I can't even necessarily do the other steps properly unless my brain is in a space where I can properly focus, right? Where I can properly see through the noise, right? So that's the first thing that I did. In here, we have those kind of like core principle things. And then we have movement number one, which is detox and refocus. The reason that I call these movements is because they build off of one another, right? And they're things that I continuously do and evolve on top of, right? They're not things I just kind of go through. There's a startup period where I'm particularly focused on the thing, but it is a thing I'm trying to implement into my overall routine and then build and stack on top of each other. So in here, tangible outcomes at the front, concrete sleep, diet, and fitness routine, low dependency on lustin, low level dopamine, scrolling, whatever, right? Kind of getting back into a space where I can have like flow and laser focus again. I felt like that had completely gone away in the last like 2 years, I would say. Like I had some moments where I could do it, but it felt like it was for very short periods of time. So the starter duration was for 3 months, August 1st to December 1st. And I created a basic regimen, right? So basic routine of things that I need to do when I'm getting up, when I'm going to bed, what I'm doing during the day, how do I spend my day, right? And general times where that should generally happen, right? Just creating a general structure. So when on the days that I don't have any particular engagements and I can create what I need to create for my routine, I get to do whatever I want, right? Down here I was tracking wins and losses. So it was very simple. It's just like what if I felt like I failed or won that day, like I just checked that box. It was pretty simple. Current agenda, right? So like what are we doing? What are the individual problems we're working on? This changed almost weekly because there's constantly new things you're trying to figure out, new problems you're trying to solve. And through that, I would write out my field notes. So I would just journal about stuff I was reading, stuff, interactions I would have, whatever, right? Just like we're doing right here, just recording the events of the day, week, month, specific experiences, right? Even recently, I've just from like going through the process of creating movement number 2, I've gone back to movement number 1 and improved on the methodology when it comes to tracking the things that I do. What are the habits? What are the things that I'm tracking? What are the ideas that allow my brain to stay focused and clear? So in here, I've changed my daily page to have some more updated habits and things like this right here that are a little bit more specific to the things I'm trying to deal with right now. And then in here I have a more particular tracker that allows me to like track the individual things and let me see from like a bird's eye view the individual problems that I'm dealing with and the dates. And then also in here there are field notes in there that are ready to go. I don't do that every day, but the days that I do, right, we have the notes in here, and then I can back that stuff up into Obsidian later for long-term archival. So pretty simple, but you know, and then I simplified my page. This used to have like a very complicated database that was connected to a bunch of different homes. And that was because I was going through school. That's because I was working at the same time and doing all these different things. Had multiple different jobs, but now, you know, I can keep it pretty simple because there's just needing to know what to do every single day and needing to know what my agenda for the month is, right? So I have these bigger, longer term monthly checklists and agendas, and then those kind of break down into the week by week basis that we're doing. So yeah, that's the basic outline of the first section. Decide what you want to feel, what things or aspects of yourself could make you feel that way, and then what is the least common denominator, or like in my case, I call it like the deadliest problem that you need to solve to begin moving forward. All right. And this is constantly changing, constantly evolving. I've used ChatGPT a lot to help me as well with some things, which we'll kind of dive more into that to movement number 2. But yeah, that's what I'm working with right now. And if you have any questions, you want to know how I built this, want more specifics, I just want to give a general overview, but I'm trying to catch us up to where we are at currently in the timeline. But next video will actually be updated, but it's hard to know what you want. It's hard to know what you want to do. It's hard to figure out what this next step is. But this process has helped me a lot, and I hope it helps you guys too. So anyway, thanks for waiting on this video. It took me a while, but yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, so leave a comment if you have any things you guys actually want to see. But yeah, anyway, see you later.